currently messing around with water pumps. Now, this one is a knockoff, if you like, fake Pierberg pump from a BMW, which I got for about 60 quid or something a couple of years ago. It's been in the car and it works in what I call dumb mode, i.e. full speed, but not quite satisfied with that. This is what it does. Now, before I go any further, I've got this little circuit here. Let me zoom you in. So this, I need to get you zoomed in even further, don't I? This little circuit is a pulse width modulator. It features a Arduino Nano in there combined with a voltage regulator and an output transistor to get the power up, basically. It generates a square wave. In fact, on my little oscilloscope, now I wonder if this will come out on camera. Let's have a look. Oh, maybe, yeah. You can see the pulses going across the screen, and with this knob I can adjust the width of those pulses, and in fact there we go. As you can see, the pulses are getting wider, or the dips are getting narrower, if you like, and as I get up to basically what's called 100% duty cycle, I'm nearly there now. It's probably about 99% or something at the moment. And I don't know if you heard it, the pump just switched on. So the knockoff pump, if you like, is reacting to PWM, but it only switches on full power when the pulse width modulation is 100%. So let's back that off again, and as you can see, as soon as I go away from 100% it switches off, and it is completely off, by the way. Let's go and do it again, going up to 100%, and after a moment the pump starts. So it is a PWM controlled pump, kinda, but it's only got a very dumb mode, basically off or on. And up to now I've only been using it with the PWM connection being basically wired to 12 volts. So this variable PWM up to now, this pump really hasn't ever seen. And it doesn't matter what I do, it is not running at all. So that is how this fake pump works. Now I just checked that this pump actually looks like it cost me 120 quid, which is a lot less than the £300 or £400 that you see these advertised for, the genuine article, and it's advertised as being for a BMW 5 Series. And of course I've made the bracketry on the chassis to match this pump because that's the one I had. But even a while ago I was rather dissatisfied with having this thing having basically zero or full power, which takes 7 amps, and obviously that affects warm-up as well because there's no thermostat. And what you would do is instead of a thermostat is having this thing but switched off until the engine's warmed up, and then it starts maybe slowly. So that's where I am with this. Right, So I also have this, because I was so dissatisfied with my knockoff fake Peerberg pump. I also bought this one, which is genuine. It's got the Peerberg logo on it. Pump for a BMW 1 Series. And you'll notice that the bracketry here is different from the one I had. The one I've made the chassis bracketry for. This is quite different to this one, so I can't just put this one in where this is. But anyway, here it is, working. But if I turn the PWM down again, if I go anything below 100%, then it stops working. Anything below 100%, and as soon as I go to 100%, hopefully you can hear that, it starts working again. This is not helped by my washing machine in the background, is it? Right, the noise you can hear here is this water pump. However, and there's a big however, if I turn, and the reason I saw this, because I read there's kind of some voltage rules on the pump. If I turn the supply voltage down to, let's say, 9-ish volts, it's still running, but now if I adjust my PWM to be less than 100%, it no longer switches off. Here we are. So, I don't know, what is that, 90%? Right, I've stopped the dishwasher. Right, so here we have, can't see what you can see. So here we have not 100% duty cycle, it's got the notches in it. And as I turn the PWM down, did you hear that? It's running slower and slower and slower and slower and slower, all the way down to a point where you won't be able to hear it anymore. I can feel that. That's still going jugga 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 jugga, and I don't know what duty cycle that is, but it's probably around 10%. So it's doing exactly what I wanted it to do, but only when I run the supply voltage at a reduced figure, which in this case is about 9 volts. There it is, 9 volts. If I turn the voltage up again to 10, let's turn the duty cycle up so you can hear it. Okay, so it's running about, I don't know, half speed or something. Are you both in? Yeah. So I'll turn the voltage up to about 10. And as soon as I get to about 11 volts, it stops again. Turn the voltage down, it has no effect, which is interesting. I've now got the dustman here, beeping away. Smile, you're on YouTube. Anyway, if I turn the voltage down again, if I now press the reset button on the Arduino, the pump starts running again. So that, unfortunately, even if I could fit this in bracketry wise, it would still be no blinking use, because there's no way I can run it at 9 volts in the car. Well, I suppose I probably could come up with something, but that seems a bit weird, doesn't it? So let's do that again now the dustmen have gone. So if I turn the voltage up to 12, it stops. But then if I turn the duty cycle up to 100%, it starts. And now I can, if I turn it anything less than 100%, it stops. Let's put it up to 100%. But now turn the supply voltage down to about 9 volts. Now I could turn the duty cycle down. I hope you're watching the wiggles on here. And now we have variable speed, which is what I was looking for. Now there was a whole area of uncertainty, because when I bought that second-hand pump, it also came with this, which is a thermostat. That was all plumbed into it with some pipe work. So clearly it was not really designed to be used in the non-thermostat type of way. So it's possible that this pump was never really designed to be used in the way that I'm wanting it to work, but it kind of nearly does anyway. So it's all quite frustrating. And it's also frustrating that if I turn again the voltage up to 12 volts and then go 100% duty cycle, after a moment, and it's important I'll say after a moment, because clearly there's some logic going on in here while it thinks about what to do. There's some stuff inside this box thing on the bottom here, which is doing some thinking about what to do. So it is thinking about the PWM, but it's just not thinking right, if you like. So turn it up to 12 volts, which is where it is at the moment, and turn the duty cycle down, it immediately switches off. This is really quite frustrating. So to summarise, I've got these two kind of rather annoying things. So this is a knockoff Pierberg pump for a BMW 5 Series. It didn't come with anything, obviously, so I don't know whether it was designed to be used with one of these thermostat things or not. And my chassis is been bracketised to accept this, but this will only work at 100%. No matter what you do with the supply voltage, it only ever works at 100% duty cycle. So basically there's no point in having a variable speed controller at all, because it only runs at 100%. So I've got that one, and then I've got this one, which is a genuine Pierberg pump, which does appear to work PWM wise, but only when you do weird things to the supply voltage. And on top of that, the brackets are wrong, so that I can't even put this in the car straightforwardly. So yeah, I've got two pumps, neither of which are really quite what I want. If you got as far as this, thanks very much for watching, and in case you haven't already, please do consider subscribing. That would be really encouraging for me. So catch you on the next one.